Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the first makeup video that I've done on my channel in quite a while. I know some of you guys have been missing the makeup videos, so hopefully this is what you wanted to see. I actually had quite a lot of makeup related videos that I wanted to do for you before the end of the year, but I've actually run out of time to do all of them. So what I am going to do for today's video is combine all of those videos and put them all in this video today. So I'm calling it Makeupdates or makeup updates because I'm just going to update you on everything makeup related that I wanted to update you on before the end of the year. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I upload at least one new video every single week. And let's get started. First of all, I'm going to show you the makeup that I've used up this year. So normally this is a standalone video that I do at the end of each year, but I never use up that much makeup. So I thought, it would be a very, very short video if I did that again this year. I only have 3 products that I've used up this year. So starting off with a primer, I used up the LA Girl Pro Prep HD Smoothing Face Primer. I remember I did really like this. I used this up way back, I think it was right at the start of the year actually. But I did really like it. It was nice and cheap. I think it lasted me a good few months. It was really nice and smoothing. I haven't repurchased just because primer is a step that I don't need in my makeup routine. I don't know if it's my skin type or whatever it is, but my makeup looks pretty much the same whether or not I use a primer, so I haven't felt the need to repurchase this. Speaking of not repurchasing things, I also used up the Maybelline Master Fix Wear Boosting Setting Spray. Again, this was one that it was fine. I did like it, but I just felt like it was unnecessary in my makeup routine. Didn't really change anything about my makeup, so I haven't repurchased this. I currently don't have a setting spray in my collection. I'm not using one. I don't feel like I need one. And the third and final product that I used up this year was the Maybelline The Colossal Big Shot Volume Express Mascara. I really liked this. I used this for a good 6 months. This was my favorite mascara that I had for a little while, and I would definitely repurchase this again in the future. I just have others that I'm working my way through at the moment. So all 3 of these I really enjoyed using, hence why I used them up rather than decluttering them. But I haven't repurchased any of them because I just feel like I don't need to. Speaking of purchasing makeup, that is another thing that I want to touch on very briefly. I did a video in about the middle of the year where I said I hadn't bought any makeup this year, and I talked through the reasons why I had stopped buying makeup, and I felt like I had enough in my collection that I didn't need to buy anymore, and I was only going to purchase things if I felt like, I had run out of everything and I needed it again. So my update on that is I still have not bought any makeup this year. So it is now December. I haven't bought any makeup products since last year in December. So it has now been a full year. I've not bought any makeup products. I have not felt like I've missed out on anything the whole year. Anytime I've wanted to put my makeup on, I've had every product that I need in order to do my makeup. And I still just have so much makeup. I have color duplicates. I have every color I could possibly want to put on my eyes, on my lips, on my cheeks. I have everything that I need. I still feel like it's going to be a while before I need to buy any more makeup. There's a couple of things I'll show you soon when we go through my makeup collection. There's a couple of things that I will need soon, like concealer, because I only have one, and although there's still a lot of product in it, the packaging has broken, so I am probably going to have to throw that out quite soon. But for the most part, eyeshadows, lipsticks, that kind of thing, I'm not gonna need any anytime soon. Alright, for the next update, I want to show you the products that I have hit pan on this year, because I don't hit pan on things very often at all, so it's very exciting when I do. So I think I have 5 things to show you. The first thing that I hit pan on this year was from the YSL eyeshadow palette. Jonathan got this for me for Christmas either 2 or 3 years ago now, and this is the first pan that I've hit in the palette. And I've had it for 2 years, so that's telling you something. I really don't need to be purchasing more when it takes me 2 years at least to hit pan on the first eyeshadow. So I have finally hit pan on the dark brown shade on the end here. That is the one that I use to fill in my brows. And now that I've used up all my brow pencils, I'm actually getting a lot more use out of it. And it's actually a really decent sized pan as well. This is the first pan that I hit this year. It was not right at the start of the year, but definitely in the first half of the year. So it's been a good few months since I hit pan, so I've been able to expand it a bit since then as well. And then speaking of palettes that I've had for a really long time, this is one of my oldest palettes, this is the Lorac Pro. This one I've had for like at least 4 years, I think. But I have finally hit my first pan, and not only my first pan, but my first 2 pans in here. So the first pan that I hit in here was Espresso, again because it's one that I use to do my brows. I alternate between this one and the YSL. And because these shadows are so powdery and crumbly, once I hit pan, it expanded really fast. And then I also hit pan on Light Bronze, which is my favorite all over the lid eyeshadow from this palette. This one's just a little pan. I hit it and then I used it one more time and then I went back to my YSL palette. So it's only got a little bit of pan, but again, when I come back to it and use it more, it'll expand really quickly because of the formula of the eyeshadows in this palette. I was really hoping that I would hit pan on one of my face powders by the end of the year because I can see the little ridges starting to form and I know that I must be so close, but I haven't, which again shows you how little I use my makeup and just proves once again that I really don't need to buy any more. Like I definitely don't need any more face powders. I only have the 2 and they're both quite close to pan, but I haven't hit pan on either of them, so they're still going strong. What I do have to show you is not exactly pan, but products that I've used enough for it to count as pan. So 2 lipsticks that I have pretty much alternated between the whole year. Firstly is the Clinique Chubby Stick in the shade Chunky Cherry. This one I only picked up at the end of last year. This is probably one of my most recent purchases. This would have been like in November or December last year, but it's just so perfect. It's moisturizing, it's a beautiful color, it's fairly sheer, so it's so easy to use day to day, going to work, going to absolutely anything. And so I've just used it so much, and now I only have a very small amount left. So this is probably about a third of the lipstick, because if I wind it down, it goes a really long way into the barrel, and then when I bought it, it also used to stick out from the barrel. So yeah, I would say I've got less than a third of that left to go. This is one that I actually probably will repurchase once it's gone, just because this is my #1 go-to lipstick for every single day. And although I do have other nudes in my collection, they're not the same formula, they're not as moisturizing, they're not as sheer, and I feel like this has a place in my collection. Although I use other lipsticks from time to time, this is the main one that I want to be using every single day. The other lipstick that I've hit pan on this year is an older one, so I've had this for way longer. I've had lots of years to actually get use out of it, and I finally feel like it's starting to come to an end. This is Velvet Teddy from MAC. I've got about the same amount of this left as I do with the Clinique one, although this one in a bullet form I think was shorter to begin with, so I'd say I've got less than half of this left. This is another really easy nude to just chuck on for the day, and because it's matte, it doesn't tend to come off on things, so it lasts quite well through the day, but it's also comfortable because it's matte rather than ultra matte, which are really uncomfortable. This was actually one of my first MAC lipstick purchases, so I have had this for probably 3, maybe more than 3 years. So it is about time I started getting towards the end of this one. And I think I'm going to hopefully try and use this up next year. I'm actually not going to repurchase this one when it's gone because I have a very similar one from Clinique that is also matte that I prefer just a little bit over this one, but I have really enjoyed this one. It's been a go-to, and especially before I had that last one that I showed you, this was my go-to everyday lipstick. So now that I've shown you the products that I've used up this year and hit pan on this year, I think all that's left to do is show you what is still in my actual collection. I do one of these videos at the end of each year so you can see how my collection is changing. In general, in the past on my channel, it has grown each year, but this year for the first time, it's actually going to be smaller than last time you saw this video because obviously I haven't bought any makeup this year, but I have decluttered twice this year. I decluttered in January and then again in about the middle of the year. So my storage system is still the same, but I'm just using fewer drawers. I have 6 drawers in the storage unit that I use, and in the past, I think 4 of them have been makeup drawers. So the 2 small ones at the top and 2 of the larger ones. And now I've condensed it into the top 3 drawers. So the 2 little ones and 1 of the big ones. So let's head on over there and check out this year's collection. So this is the very top of my makeup storage. On top here I just keep all my brushes. So I've kind of got my ones that need cleaning along over the side here. And then the ones that I'm still able to use before I have to clean them are up in these containers. And I also am currently keeping my Lancome foundation up on the top because if I lie it on its side nothing is coming out anymore because I'm starting to get towards the end. I didn't put it in the pan section of this video just because I'm still getting lots of product out of it. It's really hard to tell with these, so I don't know, maybe it's getting low, I'm not really sure. But that is sitting on top. That is my daily, not daily because I don't wear foundation daily, but every time I wear makeup this is usually the one I reach for. In the top drawer I keep all of the makeup products that I am reaching for most of the time when I do my makeup. So in here I like to swap out the products that I'm using every couple of months. I used to do a monthly makeup drawer rotation, but monthly is too often for me because I generally only wear makeup once or twice a week, so I was only using the products 4 to 5 times and then swapping them out. So I leave it for a few months and then I swap some things out. If I only have one of something, like I only have one mascara and one concealer at the moment, so I will leave those obviously, but products like eyeshadow palettes, bronzer, blush, that kind of thing, I will swap every now and then. So in here at the moment I have my powder, which is the Maybelline Fit Me, the butter bronzer, a Bobbi Brown blush in this nice peachy color, XO Beauty highlighter in Aurora, the Soul Blooming eyeshadow palette, which is a funny one because I like all the matte shades but the shimmers are awful. My one mascara, little mini from Clinique. Oh, that one's meant to be over there. My YSL eyeshadow palette that I showed you just before. I've got 4 lipsticks in here at the moment. I do rotate these fairly regularly, so I like to keep myself a couple of nudes and a couple of brighter shades. So this is the nude that I was talking about. I like it slightly better than MAC Velvet Teddy. So this is Blushing Pop from Clinique. This is my favorite matte nude, and I just dug my fingernail into it. That's all right. And then this one is also from Clinique. This is a much lighter, pinkier nude shade. It's also more creamy, so sometimes I put that on top of a matte shade. Oh, these are all from Clinique. This is just my favorite formula of lipstick. So this is Ruby Pop. They're all from the same line. They're all those matte shades. This is actually the one I'm wearing today. Nice and Christmassy. Perfect if you have Christmas in summer like we do here in New Zealand because it's a nice bright orangey red. And then this one is Pow Pop, which is a deeper purple shade. This would be quite nice if you had Christmas in winter, I would say. Or just a nice wintry shade in general. My one concealer, the Master Conceal from Maybelline. So this one is the one where the packaging is broken. So there's a little hole somewhere here. So when I squeeze it, product comes out here rather than at the top. So there's still loads of product in there, but I would quite like to replace this at some point with one that doesn't have broken packaging. My Too Faced Shadow Insurance, this is my eyeshadow primer, and my Bright Brow Gel from Ico. And that is what is in my everyday kind of makeup drawer at the moment. This drawer is looking a little bit sparse. This one houses products that can lie down, but they need to be quite short because this is another one of those smaller drawers. So at the moment in here I've got my one primer that I have. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, and my Too Faced Primed and Poreless powder. This is my favorite one. I'm just trying to use up the other one first. And then my one other foundation that I have, the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum Foundation. This one is just a slightly darker color than the Lancome, so I save this for when I'm a little bit more tanned. This isn't makeup. This is actually, I did buy this year, but it's not makeup, so I don't count it in buying makeup. This is the Cinema Secrets Makeup Brush Cleaner. So I just use this to like spot clean my little eyeshadow brushes that are up the top here. And then I have my eyeshadow singles over on the side here. So my Stila Magnificent Metals in Smouldering Satin. I was actually wearing this in my previous video. The Makeup Geek Loose Pigment in Sugar Rush. One little Luxie shadow in a gorgeous color. And then I've got just a really nice matte bone color from Wet n Wild in Brulee. That is it for that drawer. And then we have the third and final drawer. This one's a little more full than the others just because this houses everything else, everything that's too tall to go in the next drawer up and that I'm not currently using. I'm just going to quickly mention this lipstick that I showed you just before that I've hit pan on actually lives up in my bedroom because my makeup collection is downstairs and I don't always come downstairs in the mornings. So this lives in my bedroom rather than with the rest of my makeup because I use it every day. I guess speaking of lipsticks, let's start with these ones over here. So I've kind of got a color system going on at the moment. As you can see, there's so many more empty spaces. Normally I would have this full, but I've really tried to strip back my makeup, and if I have like lots of color double ups, I've tried to get rid of the ones that are not my favorites. But I've still got them in some kind of an order. So I've got my more nude lipsticks along the front here, except for obviously the ones that are up in my top drawer that I'm currently using, and then pinks, and then like orangey reddish ones, and then up the top are like my darker reds and berries, and like the purple would go up here. And then this one is all on its own on the side here because I've decided that I don't like it anymore. So that's ready for my next declutter. This is Nature Paradise, which was my favorite color for a really long time. I can't remember why I decided I didn't like it. I think the formula is still fine, but I think I've decided the color just doesn't suit me the best. It's just sitting on its own, so I remember not to use it because I don't really like it anymore. Anyway, up the top, starting with my darker colors, I've got, this is that same Clinique formula again, Icon Pop. Gorgeous color for Christmas time. Actually, all of these top ones will be because they're all very similar types of colors. This is my YSL lipstick. Very similar color. That's like the one color double up that I've not been able to bring myself to get rid of either of them because I love the formula of both of them so much. This is my Clarins one. It's a similar color, but it's way more muted, and this is a moisturizing lipstick rather than a matte one like the other two. My Lancome Gloss Cream. This is such a unique formula. It feels like glass on your lips, like just so smooth, and I can't get over it, and I love the color. And then that same Clinique formula again, this is Graffiti Pop. Gorgeous. I don't use pinks very often, but I do love that formula, so if I was ever going to, that would probably be the one that I would wear, which means I probably don't need this one, but I keep it anyway. This is Speak Louder. As you can see, like really similar color. This one is a cream sheen, so that's why I've kept both, because this one's creamy and the other one's matte. And then for my nudes, what have I got? Oh, Velvet Teddy that I showed you before, and then this one is Kinda Sexy, which again is lighter and creamier, so I will often put that over top of Velvet Teddy. And then for my eyeshadow palettes, I have Colourpop Yes Please, which is such a lovely colour scheme. The Zulu by Juvia's, love that for the colours as well, like those are just such unique colours. I've already shown you my Lorac Pro palette, and then we have Urban Decay. This is my oldest palette. As you can see, I haven't hit pan on anything in there, but you know what, maybe one day. The Tarte Toasted palette, if I had to get rid of one palette, this would be the one because I almost never reach for it. I forced myself to use it a few times this year, and I do really like it when I use it, but I just never kind of feel like reaching for it. Don't know why. And then the Weekend Festival palette by BH Cosmetics. Oh, there's just really stunning, unusual colours in there as well. So, you know, I've got a few neutrals like the YSL and then Lorac and the Naked palette, and then the others are kind of a little bit more colourful, a bit more fun. So I feel like I've got a good mixture. I'll never ever use up all the shadows that I have, but it's not too excessive. I mean, 8 palettes, it's a little excessive, but I don't know. Struggling to get rid of more than that. Over here we have some of my face products. So my Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette. This is the 3. So this one I use as a highlighter, sometimes as a face powder. That one is a bronzer on me if I'm like really pale, which is most of the year. And then this one is also sometimes a bronzer, but sometimes a face powder, but I've got to be really tanned to use that one as a face powder, so I don't know. I don't really use that one much because it's kind of the wrong color for everything. But I'm hoping one day to use up these two. Maybe we'll have to wait and see if that ever happens. The Revolution Renaissance Glow. I love the packaging of this one. This has the contour and the highlight in it, and I really love both of these shades. Bare Minerals Invisible Bronze. Cooler, and a little Too Faced mini. This is just the regular chocolate bronzer. I did have this in a pack of 3. I also had the milk chocolate and the Sun Bunny, but I got rid of the other 2 because I just wasn't using them enough. And then for blushes, I think this is my oldest one. This is Natio Rosewood, which is a really neutral color, and I don't have a lot of neutral blushes left, so I like to keep that one around. Clinique Peach Pop is one of my newer blushes from last year. Love that one too. Tarte Expose, which is a really cool toned pink. I think it's the... oh no, I have one other, but I don't have many cool toned blushes, so again, just a nice one to have around in case I need it. This is the other cool toned one, Havana by Benefit, because it's got a bit of a lilac shift to it. And then MAC Rosewood, which is my deepest blush. I love this in winter. And another one from MAC, this is Warm Soul, which is lovely, warm, but still neutral blush. And then for my highlighters, I have MAC Lightscapade, which is, oh, is it actually my oldest one? It is. This is my oldest highlighter. That's quite cool. Bare Minerals Invisible Glow, love that one too. And then these ones are both given to me by Melody. The Jouer, what's this called? Citrine. This is such an intense highlighter. Oh, it's going to be perfect for Christmas time. I've got to break this one out soon. Actually, maybe I will swap it for the one in my top drawer right now. So I'll pull the XO Beauty one back out because that's a really subtle one, and I'd rather have the gold intense one for Christmas time because it's like the perfect time of year to be using it. And then the Bobbi Brown Pink Glow, which is obviously a little bit more pink, way less intense than the Jouer. I love this if I'm going for more of a cool toned or pinky look. And I think that is everything actually. So as you can see, it has been stripped back quite a bit since last year, if you saw last year's makeup collection. But I'm finding it a lot more manageable. I'm still not getting through all of my products, but I think I'm using them each more than I used to. But like, I could still say there's eyeshadow palettes in here that I probably didn't touch this year. And the same with like the bronzers and the blushes, because I have so many of them. I'm only using them a few times each. This one I know I pulled out into my everyday makeup drawer and I used it consistently for a while, but then it's like, did I even use this one at all? I don't think so. So I don't know. I'm at a point where I do like all of my makeup, which is making it really hard to declutter because there's nothing that I don't want. I feel like I should still declutter because there's so much that I'm not going to get to use, and it's going to go off before I ever get to it. But if I decluttered it and gave it to somebody else, it would get used before it goes off. So I don't know. I may or may not do a declutter at the start of 2020. You'll have to wait and see. I haven't decided yet. But that is my current makeup collection. And that brings me to the end of today's video. It was very much a mishmash of all the makeup things that I wanted to update you guys on, so I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye!